students. Today we'll start revision part 2. So first we will revise lesson number 11, that is circle. So first we will see the formulas. Circumference of a circle, that is C. So what is the formula to find out circumference of a circle? As you can see here, I have written here two formulas, that is 2 pi r or C is equal to pi d. So if the radius is given and you have to find out circumference, then you will use the formula 2 pi r. Okay, and if the diameter is given and you have to find out circumference, then you will use the formula that is pi d. Okay, hope you are clear with this. So how to find out circumference? Circumference of a circle is equal to 2 pi r or pi d, where radius is r, diameter is d and circumference is c. Okay, and the value of pi is 22 upon 7 or 3.14. Okay, now there are two more formulas to find out radius and diameter. Yes, radius is equal to diameter divided by 2, diameter upon 2. Radius is half of the diameter. So what is the formula to find out radius? Radius is equal to diameter upon 2, d upon 2. Then what is the formula to find out diameter? Diameter is equal to radius multiplied by 2, because diameter is twice of radius and radius is half of the diameter. Okay, so to find out diameter, the formula is 2 multiplied by radius or radius multiplied by 2. And to find out radius, the formula is radius is equal to diameter upon 2, that is d upon 2. Now we'll start solving the sums. See here, in the first one, radius is equal to 7 centimeter. Radius is given, so first we will find out diameter and then we'll find out circumference. So if the radius is given, we have to find out diameter and circumference. Then how we will solve this? So let's start now. So radius is equal to 7 centimeter. How you will find out diameter? Yes, what is the formula to find out diameter? Diameter is equal to 2 multiplied by radius, that is 2 into r. Now put the values. 2 multiplied by r is 7, which is given in the question. Radius is equal to 7 centimeter. So diameter is equal to 2 multiplied by radius, that is 2 multiplied by 7. So 2 7s are 14. So this is diameter. Now we will find out circumference. So circumference is equal to pi d, or you can use the formula 2 pi r, because now radius is given and we have calculated diameter also. So any one formula you can use to find out circumference. Now I am using here pi d formula, that is pi multiplied by diameter. Okay, so pi is 22 upon 7 multiplied by diameter we got, that is 14. So we will put the values now. 7 1s are 7, 7 2s are 14, right? So what we got? 22 multiplied by 2. So 22 2s are 44, right? So what is the circumference? That is 44 centimeter. Okay, if the radius is given, we have to find out diameter first, then we will find out circumference. So to find out diameter, the formula is 2 multiplied by radius and circumference is equal to pi d, or you can use the formula 2 pi r. Okay, hope you are clear with this. Now we will see the next sum. Yes, in the second sum, now diameter is given and we will find out circumference and radius. So first we'll find out radius. Diameter is given 28 centimeter. Now what is the formula to find out radius? Radius is equal to d upon 2, that is diameter upon 2. Yes, because radius is half of the diameter. So what is diameter is given? 28. So 28 divided by 2, that is 14, right? 28 divided by 2 is 14 centimeter. So this is radius. Now we will find out circumference. So again we will use the formula pi d. So circumference is equal to pi d, or you can use the formula 2 pi r, because now we got the value of radius, that is r. So you can use the formula 2 pi r or pi d. Now I am using here pi d formula. So circumference is equal to pi d. Pi is 22 upon 7 and d is 28. Okay, in the question it is given diameter is 28. So 22 upon 7 multiplied by 28. Now we can cancel this. 7 1s are 7, 7 4s are 28. So what we got here? 22 multiplied by 4, that is 22 4s are 88 centimeter. So what is the circumference? 88 centimeter. Now we will see the next sum. Yes, in the third one, circumference is given. Now we have to find out radius and diameter both. So see here in the question, circumference is equal to 616 centimeter is given. So first we will find out diameter. So what is the formula to find out diameter? That is pi d, correct? C is equal to pi d. So we will write this formula first. We'll find out diameter first. So pi d is equal to, C is given, that is 616, right? Circumference is given. So pi d is equal to 616. Pi is 22 upon 7 and d we have to find out, so we'll write down as it is equal to 616. So d is equal to, now this 22 upon 7 it will go on this side, so it becomes 7 upon 22. Okay, 22 upon 7, when it will go on right hand side, it becomes 7 upon 22. Okay, so d is equal to 616, that is 616 multiplied by 7 upon 22. Now we will see the next step. Okay, as you can see here, d is equal to 616 multiplied by 7 upon 22. Now we can cancel these numbers by 2. 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2, 2 threes are 6, then here it is 0, and 2 eights are 16, right? So we are divided 616 and 22 by 2, so you will get here 308 and here it is 11. Now we can divide this further. 308 will divide by 11. 11 ones are 11, 11 twos are 22, right? 8 remaining and these 8, so 11 8s are, right? 11 8s are 88. So what we got here, 11 ones are 11 and here it is 308 will cancel and here will get 28. Okay, so 28 multiply by 7. Okay, what is there in the numerator? 7. So we'll do 28 multiply by 7, right? So we'll see the answer now. 7 8s are 56, 6 here, 5 carrying, 7 2s are 14 plus 5, that is 19. So what is the answer? See here, 196 centimeter. Okay, hope you are clear with this. So if the circumference is given, first we will find out diameter. So what is the diameter now? 196 centimeter. Now this is diameter. So how you will find out radius? Radius is equal to, as you can see here, d upon 2, diameter upon 2. So 196 divided by 2, that is 2 ones are 2, 2 9s are 18 and 2 8s are 16. So what is the radius now? 98 centimeter. Okay, so if the circumference is given, first we will find out diameter, that is we will use the formula pi d and then you will get the value of diameter. After getting diameter, you will find out radius. Radius is equal to diameter upon 2. So the radius is 98 centimeter and the diameter is 196 centimeter. Hope you are clear with this. Now we'll move to the next question. Okay, now we'll see the next concept, that is arc of the circle. The chord AB, as you can see here in the figure, this is chord. AB is the chord. So the chord AB divides the circle alongside into two parts. As you can see here, chord AB divides circle into two parts. Of this, the arc AXB, see this arc AXB is the smaller and is called a minor arc. This arc is smaller arc, correct? And this is called as, the smaller arc is called as minor arc. And arc AYB is the bigger arc and it is called as major arc. So chord AB divides circle into two parts. Then we'll get here two arcs, one is smaller arc and one is bigger arc. The smaller arc is called as minor arc and the bigger arc is called as major arc. So which is the major arc here? Arc AYB is the major arc and arc AXB is the minor arc. Minor arc AXB is also expressed as arc AB. So minor arc AXB is also expressed as arc AB. Okay, hope you are clear with this. So because of the chord, the circle is divided into two parts and here we got two arcs, that is one is major arc and one is minor arc. The bigger arc is major arc and the smaller arc is minor arc. Now in the figure alongside, chord RT is the diameter of the circle. Now see here, this chord RT is the diameter of the circle. Okay, the diameter gives rise to two equal arcs. Now because of the diameter, the circle is divided into two equal parts, so we will get two equal arcs, arc RYT and arc RXT. Okay, so the diameter divides circle into two equal parts and we'll get two equal arcs. So they are called as semicircular arcs. So these two arcs are called as semicircular arc. Which are the semicircular arcs here? Arc RYT and arc RXT. Yes, these are the two equal arcs, so they are called as semicircular arcs. Now we'll see the next concept, that is central angle and the measure of an arc. The figure, you can see the figure here. Now first I will explain the definition for central angle. In the figure, O is the vertex of the angle AOB. This is angle AOB and O is the vertex of the angle AOB. An angle whose vertex is the center of the circle is called a central angle. An angle, that is angle AOB, whose vertex, that is point O, is the center of the circle. Now which is the center of the circle? Yes, point O is the center of the circle. So the point O is the vertex of angle AOB, and an angle whose vertex is the center of the circle is called the central angle. So which is the central angle here? Angle AOB is the central angle. Okay, because O is the vertex of angle AOB and this is also center of the circle. Yes, O is the center of the circle. So this angle AOB is called as central angle. Now the measure of a complete circle is 360 degree. What is the measure of the complete circle? The measure of the complete circle is 360 degree. The measure of a semicircular arc is equal to 180 degree. The measure of the semicircular arc is 180 degree. The measure of a minor arc is equal to its corresponding central angle. Now the measure of a minor arc is equal to its corresponding central angle. Now we can see this. See now here, this is central angle AOB, and which is the minor arc here, smaller arc, that is arc AZB. So what is the measure of arc AZB? The measure of arc AZB, that is the measure of this minor arc AZB, is equal to angle AOB. Okay, see here. So these only third point. The measure of a minor arc is equal to its corresponding central angle, and the measure of the major arc is equal to 360 degree minus measure of corresponding minor arc. So how you will find out major arc? Major arc is equal to 360 minus minor arc. Okay, now we'll start with the sums. Some arcs are shown in the circle with center O. Write the names of the minor arcs, major arcs and the semicircular arcs from them. Now one circle is shown here and the arcs are shown here. To write down the names of the minor arcs, that is smaller arc, major arc, the bigger arcs and the semicircular arc. So we'll start with minor arcs first. So which are the minor arcs, that is smaller arcs? See, arc PXQ, the first one. Arc PR, this is the second one. Arc RY, the third one. Arc XP, this is fourth one. Arc XQ, fifth one, and arc QY, this is sixth one. So these are the six minor arcs, the smaller arcs. Okay, once again we will see. See this first PXQ, then PR, this RY, PX, XQ and QY. So these are the six minor arcs, the smaller arcs. Okay, now we will see how to write down the names of the major arcs, the bigger arcs. So which are the major arcs here? Arc PYQ, this PYQ one, then second one is PQR, PQR, this is the second one, then RQY, RQY, this is the third one, then XQP, XQP, this is the fourth one, and the last one is QRX, QRX. RX. So these are the major arcs, means bigger arcs. Okay. Now we will see how to write down the names of the semicircular arcs. So these are the major arcs and we have seen the minor arcs. Minor arcs means the smaller arcs and major arcs means the bigger arcs. Now we will see the semicircular arcs. Which are the semicircular arcs here? That is RYQ, this, and RPQ, or you can write down QPR. That is also correct. You can write down QPR or you can write down RPQ, and the second one is QYR or you can write down RYQ. Okay. So these are the names of the semicircular arcs. Now we will see the next question. Now the question number 3. In a circle with center O, the measure of a minor arc is 110 degree. What is the measure of the major arc PYQ? Now in this circle, the measure of the minor arc is given, that is smaller arc. This is 110 degree, right? See here. This is 110 degree. Now we have to find out the measure of the major arc PYQ. How you will find out measure of this PYQ? Yes, in the circle, the measure of a complete circle is 360 degree, right? So if the minor arc is given 110 degree, how you will find out the major arc? That is 360 minus 110 degrees. So the answer is 6 minus 1, that is 5, and 3 minus 1, that is 2. So what is the measure of the major arc? That is 250 degree, because the minor arc is given, that is the smaller arc is given 110 degree, and as we know the measure of a complete circle is 360 degree. So if the smaller arc is 110 degrees, so how you will find out the major arc, the bigger arc? 360 degree minus 110 degree. We will see the next steps. See here, the measure of a major arc is equal to 360 degree minus measure of the corresponding minor arc. So 360 minus 110 degrees. So the answer is 250 degree. Okay. And the measure of the central angle also 110 degree. Why? Because the measure of the central angle is equal to its corresponding minor arc. So minor arc is given, that is 110 degree. So what is the measure of the central angle? That is also 110 degree. Now we'll see the next sum. The radius of a circular garden is 56 meter. What would it cost to put a 4 round fence around this garden at a rate of rupees 40 per meter? Now the radius of a circular garden is given, that is 56 meters. So first we will find out circumference. Okay. So in the solution, first the radius is given 56. So we'll find out circumference. Which formula we will use? As the radius is given, we will use the formula 2 pi r, correct? So we'll write down the formula, then we'll put the values. 2 pi r, 2 multiplied by 22 upon 7 multiplied by r is 56. Now we can cancel this. 7 ones are 7, 7 8s are 56. So 2 multiplied by 22 multiplied by 8, that is 352 meter. So this is circumference of a circular garden. So the length of the wire required to put one round fence is equal to circumference. So if this is the circular garden, how you will find out length of the wire which is required to put one round fence? That is equal to circumference. Yes, to put one round fence wire, fencing wire required, that is circumference of the circle. Okay, so now we got circumference. Yes, and we have to find out the length of wire required to put 4 round fence. How you will find out the length of the wire which is required for 4 round fencing? For 1 round fencing is equal to circumference. So for 4 round fencing is equal to 4 multiplied by circumference. So 4 multiplied by 352, right? So 4 multiplied by 352, that is 1408. Now 1408 meter wire we require for 4 round fencing, but in the question they are given the cost of wire per meter is 40 rupees. The cost of the wire per meter, that is 1 meter, is equal to 40 rupees. So we have to find out for 1408 meters. So how you will find out for 1408 meter? The total cost is equal to length of the wire which is required, that is 1408 multiplied by cost of the wire. So 1408 multiplied by 40. So the answer is 56,320 rupees. Okay, hope you are clear with this. Radius is given, so first we will find out circumference. Circumference means what? The length of the wire which is required for one round fencing is equal to its circumference. So for 4 round fencing, 4 multiplied by circumference. Then we are required 1408 meter wire. Okay, so but the cost of wire is given, that is per meter is 40 rupees. So for 1408 meter is equal to 1408 multiplied by 40. So you will get the final answer. Okay, so what is the final answer here? Rupees 56,320. Okay, now we will see the next lesson. So till we have seen just now, we have completed lesson number 11, circle. Now we will start with lesson number 13, that is Pythagoras theorem. Okay, now in the Pythagoras theorem, the first one, that is, what is the Pythagoras theorem? In a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of other two sides. In a right angle triangle, this is right angle triangle where the one angle is of right angle, that is 90 degree, and the side which is opposite to the right angle, that is called as hypotenuse. So this is hypotenuse. So in a right angle triangle, the square of hypotenuse, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of other two sides. Means the theorem can be stated as hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square. So hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square. Okay, so what is the Pythagoras theorem? In a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of other two sides. So this is Pythagoras theorem. Now we will see questions based on this. Now practice set 48, we'll see one question, that is question number 1. In the figure here, the length of LM and length of MN is given. We have to find out length of LN. So length of LN is the hypotenuse, right, which is opposite to the 90 degree. This angle M is 90 degree. So in the solution in triangle LMN, angle M is 90 degree, hence side LN is the hypotenuse. So what is the formula according to Pythagoras theorem? Hypotenuse square means LN square is equal to base square plus height square, that is LM square plus MN square, or you can write down MN square plus LM square. So we will put the values. X square is equal to 7 square plus 24 square. So 7 square is 49 and 24 square is 576. So 49 plus 576 is 625. Now this is what x square is equal to 625. We have to find out x, the value of x. So x is equal to square root of 625. So what is the square root of 625? That is 25. Correct. We'll find out the square root by factors method. So the square root of 625 is 25. Okay. So in this way you will solve this type of question. You will use the formula, or you will use the theorem, that is Pythagoras theorem, and you will find out the value. Okay, hope you are clear with this. Now we will see the next question. Question number 2. In the right angle triangle PQR, angle P is given 90 degree and PR is 10 centimeter and PQ is 24 centimeter. We have to find out QR. Again the length of QR is hypotenuse, yes, which is opposite to the right angle, that is P. So in triangle PQR, angle P is 90 degree, hence side QR is the hypotenuse. Correct. So according to Pythagoras theorem, what is the Pythagoras theorem? QR square is equal to, yes, PR square plus PQ square, or you can write down PQ square plus PR square. Now we will put the values. QR square is equal to 10 square plus 24 square. This 10 square plus 24 square. So 10 square is 100 and 24 square is 576. Now add this. 100 plus 576 is 676. Now we got QR square is equal to 676. But we have to find out length of QR, not QR square. So what we will do? Length of QR is equal to, see the next step. Length of QR square is equal to 676. So length of QR is equal to square root of 676. Now again by square factors method we will find out square root of 676, that is 26 centimeter. So what is the length of segment QR? That is 26 centimeter. Now question number 3. In question number 3, now see here length of LM is given and length of LN is given. Hypotenuse is given. Now we have to find out length of MN. Okay. So how you will find out? Again the same, you will use the formula, you will use the Pythagoras theorem, that is ln square is equal to lm square plus mn square. Now ln is 20 centimeter and lm is 12 centimeter. Mn we have to find out, that will write down as it is. So what is what is mn square, which we have to find out? Mn square is equal to this 12 square, it will go on this side, so it becomes minus. So 20 square minus 12 square, right? Why I written here minus sign? Because this we have to find out, and this is given, hypotenuse is given and one side is given. So mn square is equal to 20 square minus 12 square. 20 square is 400 and 12 square is 144. So 400 minus 144 is 256. Now this is length of mn square is equal to 256. So what is length of mn? Length of mn is equal to square root of 256. So what is the square root of 256? The square root of 256 is 16, right? We'll do this by factors method, okay? Or if you are learnt, or if you are knowing the squares, then you can easily write down the square roots, okay? So square root of 256 is 16 centimeter. So final answer is, therefore the length of segment mn is 16 centimeter. Now we will see the next exercise. Okay, in the next exercise, practice set 49, find the Pythagorean triplets from among the following sets of numbers. Sets of numbers are given, you have to find out whether they are Pythagorean triplets or no. So in the first step, first we'll find out, see here the sets of numbers are given 3, 4, 5. In this first we'll write down squares of each side. So what is the square of 3? Square of 3 is 9. Square of 4 is 16 and square of 5 is 25. So we'll write down the squares of each side. Then first step we'll find out longest side square. Which is the longest side from this? 3, 4, 5. 5 is the longest side. So what is 5 square? That is 25. So this is first statement. Now how you will find out second statement? Second statement is what? Side 1 square plus side 2 square. So which is the side 1? That is 3 and side 2 is 4. So 3 square plus 4 square. 3 square is 9 and 4 square is 16. So 9 plus 16 is 25. This is second statement. First statement is what? Longest side square, that is 25 we got. And second statement is side 1 square plus side 2 square is equal to 25 we got. So from 1 and 2, longest side square is equal to side 1 square plus side 2 square. That is 5 square is equal to 3 square plus 4 square. Therefore 3, 4 and 5 is a Pythagorean triplet. Why they are Pythagorean triplet? Because the hypotenuse square means longest side square is equal to sum of the squares of other two sides. Therefore this numbers 3, 4, 5 is a Pythagorean triplet. Okay, from 1 and 2 if it is not equal, then it's not a Pythagorean triplet. Now in this question 1 and 2, from 1 and 2 this longest side square is equal to side 1 square plus side 2 square. Therefore these sets of numbers 3, 4, 5 is a Pythagorean triplet. So in this way you will find out Pythagorean triplet. Now we will see how to find out question number 2, that is the sides of some triangles are given below. Find out which ones are right angle. Now the sides of some triangles are given, you have to find out whether the triangles are right angle triangle or no. Here also you will use the same method, only the final statement you will write down that is different. Otherwise all the steps are same. So first we'll write down squares of each number 8, 15 and 17. So 8 square is 64, 15 square is 225 and 17 square is 289. Then what is the first statement? Longest side square, correct? So what is the longest side here? The longest side is 17. So 17 square is equal to 289. So this is first statement. Now what is the second statement? Side 1 square plus side 2 square is equal to 8 square plus 15 square. 8 square is 64 and 15 square is 225. So 64 plus 225 is 289. So this is second statement. Now from 1 and 2 what we got? See here 1, that is longest side square is equal to 289 and side 1 square plus side 2 square is equal to also 289. So from 1 and 2 longest side square is equal to side 1 square plus side 2 square, that is 17 square is equal to 8 square plus 15 square. Therefore the sides of lengths 18, 15 and 17 will form a right angle triangle. So they will form a right angle triangle. Why they will form a right angle triangle? Because longest side square, that is hypotenuse square, is equal to sum of the squares of other two sides. Yes, So because of this, the sides of lengths which are given 8, 15 and 17 will form a right angle triangle. If from 1 and 2 the sides are not equal, from 1 and 2 if the longest side square is not equal to sum of the squares of other two sides, then you will write down will not form a right angle triangle. Now here this is equal, so we'll write down will form a right angle triangle. Okay, hope you are clear with this. In the first statement you will find out longest side square, and in the second statement you will find out side 1 square plus side 2 square. Okay, so from 1 and 2, if longest side square is equal to side 1 square plus side 2 square, then it will form a right angle triangle. If longest side square is not equal to side 1 square plus side 2 square, then it will not form a right angle triangle. Now we will see the next. Yes, now we will see the questions. These type of questions can come from these lessons, that is lesson number 11 and lesson number 13 both. So we will see the questions now. Question number 1 is true or false. The measure of the complete circle is 360 degree. Now you will identify whether the statement is true or false. The measure of the complete circle is 360 degree. So the statement is true, right? So you will click the A option, that is true. Yes, what is the measure of the complete circle? It is 360 degrees. So this statement is true. Now we'll see the second one. An angle whose vertex is the center of the circle is called a right angle. An angle whose vertex is the center of the circle is called a right angle. The statement is true or false? Yes, it is false. So you will click the second, that is B option, false. Why the statement is false? Because an angle whose vertex is the center of the circle is called which angle? Central angle. So this statement is false. Okay. Now we will see the next question. Third one. In a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of other two sides. So this statement is true or false? Yes, this statement is true. So you will select the A option, that is true. Because in a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of other two sides. So the statement is true. So you will select option A, that is true. Now we will see the next question number 2. So this is question number 2. Select one correct answer. Now the question is given. You have to solve it in rough and you will select the correct answer. If the measure of a central angle is 125 degree, if the measure of a central angle is given 125 degree, what is the measure of its corresponding minor arc? Yes, now if the measure of a central angle is 125 degree, what is the measure of corresponding minor arc? Yes, options are given. Option A is 235 degree and option B is 125 degree. So which is the correct option? Option B is the correct option, that is 125 degree. Because in a circle, the measure of a central angle is always equal to its corresponding minor arc, and here we have to find out minor arc. So what is the measure of the minor arc? That is 125 degree, which is equal to central angle. So the measure of central angle is given in the question, 125 degree. Because of this, the measure of a minor arc is also 125 degree. Okay, hope you are clear with this. Because in a circle, the measure of a central angle is always equal to its corresponding minor arc. So if the measure of central angle is given 125 degree, then the measure of a minor arc is also 125 degree. Now this is the second sum. If the diameter of a circle is 22 centimeter, what will be its radius? Now if the diameter is 22, how you will find out radius? What is the formula to find out radius? Radius is equal to, yes, half of the diameter, correct? So D is 22. How you will find out radius? 22 upon 2, that is 11, right? So option A is 11 centimeter, option B is 44 centimeter. Which is the correct option? Option A, 11 centimeter. So you will select the A option, that is 11 centimeter. So if the diameter of a circle is 22 centimeter, its radius is 11 centimeter. Yes, because radius is half of the diameter. So diameter is 22. So what will be its radius? That is 11 centimeter. Okay, hope you are clear with this. Now here we are completed revision of lesson number 11, that is circle, and lesson number 13, Pythagoras theorem. Now we will discuss about paper pattern. Please write down this paper pattern in your notebook. So this is your paper pattern for your semester exam. Write down this paper pattern in your notebook. Question number 1, select one correct answer. Question number 1 is select one correct answer. You will get the options. You will select the correct answer, okay, or correct option. Question number 2 is fill in the blanks by selecting the correct alternative. Question number 2, fill in the blanks by selecting the correct alternative. Question number 3, select the correct option true or false. Question number 3, select the correct option true or false. Question number 4 is solve in rough and choose the correct answer. Question number 4, solve in rough and choose the correct answer. I hope you have written this. Question number 1 is select one correct answer. Question number 2 is fill in the blanks by selecting the correct alternative. Question number 3 is select the correct option true or false. Question number 4, solve in rough and choose the correct answer. Now there are 2 more questions. Question number 5, observe the figure and select the correct option. We'll give one figure, based on the figure we'll ask questions and you will identify or you will select the correct option. Observe the figure and select the correct option. That is question number 5. And the last question is question number 6, solve and choose the correct option. Question number 6, solve and choose the correct option. So for each and every question you will get the option, you will select the correct option. Okay, I hope you are clear with this. So we have completed revision of all the lessons. So today we'll stop till here. Thank you so much.